Hey, and welcome back to another Animal Crossing video. Today we're back in Photoshop and we are going to be making some adjustments to our villagers because they have been posting so many pictures of themselves on Crossingram with so much makeup on, so we figured we can go through and remove some of that makeup. So we'll start with Agnes. We're going to go in alphabetical order just from some random ones that I grabbed out. If we want to have more, let me know and I will continue to remove makeup, but for now let's start with Miss Agnes here. It's a really great picture she took, but we want to just remove her mascara. It's not too bad. There's really not too much makeup besides the mascara going on, so I think this one will be pretty quick. But we'll just go in here and grab this little brush and we're just gonna color in probably about this. It's gonna be very vibrant, so we might have to go back and just clean it up as well, but this one should be nice and quick. You can make it nice and smooth. So unfortunately this color is not the right white color, so let's go and use our stamp tool, squash it down like this, and we'll just use our click here to kind of use that color over and over again. We'll do the same thing here, hold Alt to stamp it over. There we go. She's looking something. I don't know what she's looking, but she's definitely a looker. So we're just going to smooth it out. Maybe I should have done that up here too, because it's very vibrant compared to the other side. But that's already looking pretty good. So let's continue on with this side and grab some of these and just smooth it out. Another way we could do this is by trying to use our fill tool, but that can either go really great or really horrible. It didn't go too bad. We'll try it again with this one. Not bad. We'll still use our stamp tool to kind of clean up over here and make it a little bit smaller. Just like that. Miss Agnes, you look great. There we go. There's a little bit of red over here. I don't know if that's from me or if that was already in the picture itself, but oops, there you go. I think that was a spillover. And we just gotta clean up these lines a little bit more because they're a little rough. So we'll go like this, smooth it out, maybe a little bit more, and fix the eye right there. There we go, looking good. So Agnes, there you go. You don't look too bad without your makeup. There really wasn't too big of a change with her, but I think that's a great start to our little villager adjustments. Next up we have Allie. This one's going to be a little bit more challenging because she has a lot of different colored makeup that kind of clashes with some of her other stuff. I think this pink we can change to white. Her lipstick we can kind of just brush over, and her eyeshadow, I think we should complete her eyes and make them all the way open. So we'll get started with the easiest part first because I'm lazy, and we're going to just grab with our quick selection brush this pink section over here. Let's just do this manually while we're looking at it. So we're gonna just like, if we bring it all that way, it's gonna make it completely dark. So we want to make it lighter and lighter, like something like that. We want to keep some of the pink because there's pink in here. Let's go to green, boost it up, kind of get rid of some of those, but not too boosted. And then blue, we'll bring it down because it's kind of purpley. We don't want it to be as purple. There, that's not too bad. We just need to make them all a little bit darker now. And here. That green is really what's deciding how much pink is in there, huh? So that's not too bad. It still is a little bit off-putting compared to here because it's so bright. So let's go into our adjustments and brightness and turn the brightness down a little bit and our contrast down as well. And then we'll go into our hue and saturation and turn the saturation down as well to get rid of some of that pink. We'll also turn the lightness down just a smidge. There we go. That's actually not too bad. So let's go in and use our stamp tool. We'll make it nice and small. We're gonna go onto this one, rasterize it real quick. So we can actually grab it, select this section, shrink our brush down, select our other layer, and just color in right here to smooth it out. Whoop, too much. There we go. So that got rid of her blush. I think next, while we're in here, let's merge these layers together. There we go. And we are going to use our stamp tool very strategically to line it up all the way across here by going like this. We'll just tap it a few times, bring it up, tap, 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 tap. And see how it's kind of giving that weird edge? We want to make sure we don't get that. So we're going to have to go back a few times to kind of make sure we remove some of that. But we're going to just kind of fill in this like here, the magic. And because we've reduced this to a smaller size and it's not quite as vibrant, I think we might be able to use, let's grab this real quick. We might be able to use Shift F5, which is a, oh, there we go, perfect. You know what, let's try to use that here too. Let's go and grab this whole section. We missed a little part, so we're just gonna add this back in. Whoops, by holding Shift and hit Shift F5. That doesn't look too bad. Let's use our stamp tool to fix the mouthpiece that we were missing. Right there. And last but not least, what we want to do, there's a little bit of red here. I don't know if that was there before, but let's just get rid of it because it's a little distracting. There we go. Let's go up and adjust her eyeballs to fit the new color. I don't think we'll be able to do this, but I'm going to give it a shot. Or I'm going to try to grab them and hit Control. Okay, so that's not too bad. And we'll do that with this side too. Shift F5. Okay, so that kind of gave us a little bit more to work with. We're just going to need to clean up these lines a little bit. So we'll use our stamp tool and color this in like that. And smooth out these a little bit. Whoops, too much. Smooth out this as well. And we're just going to use our brush tool up here, or a stamp tool. Make it nice and small. We're going to go right along above here, so it's going to grab the color that's right above it. And then over here we'll grab it what's right below it. And then we'll kind of clean up that a little bit. Gonna keep going down. Let's grab this color over here for this side of the edge, just so we have a lot to work with. And right here. Very good. I'm gonna smooth out these eyes right here. There's a little bit of the black part of the eye right there. We will have to give her eyelids, because right now this is looking really like kind of scary looking. So we're gonna grab this, use Shift F5 to clean it up. Grab this as well. Shift F5. Not very smooth. We can smooth it out over here and right here, something like that. And we're gonna actually grab onto this color and we're just gonna draw in. I'm gonna do the best I can with my mouse and keyboard here, but draw in some new eyes. It's a little heavy, so let's go in and let's make it easier on ourselves by using our pen tool. We're just gonna outline this section here and here, like that. We'll grab and round that piece out. We're just gonna go back and adjust a couple of these points a little bit by scooching around this, here, here. Whoop, too much. We'll grab this one instead. There we go. And now what we're going to do is right click and hit Make Selection. And now when we use our brush tool, we can just fill that in nice and easy. It's a little too makeup-y still, so let's go and try to grab, we'll select this color, but we're gonna make it nice and dark by going down here, hitting B, making our brush bigger and just filling it in like that, and hit D. That's not too bad, but let's change it up even more by kind of softening it a little bit. It's a little harsh compared to the rest of our picture, so we're gonna want to basically use our brush just on the outside of it and soften the edge, kind of redrawing what we drew just like right on top to kind of smudge the edges, because this is too crisp for this picture that we have, because our picture is kind of low res. That's not too bad. And I think I kind of want to clear out and clean up her eyes here as well, so we're just going to go and grab our tool again right here, go right along this edge, smooth it out. Let's make it nice and smooth like that, and we'll just use our brush tool. Oh, we forgot to select it. That's okay. Right click, make sure we're on our pen tool, right click, make selection. We're actually going to feather this one by 1 pixel, use our brush and just fill it in like that. And let's give her a little bit of a shine here, because her eyes are looking a little empty. It would help if we had a white. Here you go. A little less spooky now, huh? Alright, now we gotta do that to this eye. To make it easier on ourselves, what we're gonna do is actually just grab this entire eye, hit Control-C, Control-Shift-V, Control-T, right-click, flip to horizontal. Oop, her eye is a little spooky looking, but that's okay. It's all part of the fun. So to make this easier on ourselves, we're gonna drop the opacity down like that. And now we can line ourselves up properly, and we'll right click and do a warp and just kind of fit the eye where we want it to go, right here. Like that, looking pretty good. Excellent. All right, so now we can bring this opacity back up. We'll use our eraser tool to get rid of these extra lines here. Let's make our eraser a little bit softer. And here, we're gonna have to fix her eye because it's going the wrong way, but that's pretty easy to do. We can just paint over this by grabbing onto it like here and making sure we grab all of it. Maybe reduce some of the yellow parts. Hit Control-Shift-5. That's not too bad. Use our stamp tool to kind of clean this up, which isn't too bad to do. Make sure we round out this bottom piece right here and stamp this. We'll use our eraser tool because we have a little bit of room to work with here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And we'll color this color back on top. Use the best I can with my mouse here. There we go. I need to smooth it out a little bit more. Okay, so we're going to go and just grab this section again. Copy, paste, and we can move this over here and bring it on top of our layer. That actually looks pretty good. We're just going to make it a little bit smaller and thinner because it's back behind the other one a little bit more. Let's use our warp tool. That'll make it a little bit easier. Cool. Alright, there we go. We just have to smooth. There's a little bit of a weird thing happening up here with that old makeup, so we're just going to merge all of these layers together and color it in just like that. Very good. Very good, very good, very good. Wow! She doesn't look too bad. Looking pretty good if I do say so myself. I think she doesn't need to wear as much makeup and she will be just fine. But she does rock it out. She's super confident, so I really love her whole style and aesthetic, but she doesn't need it to look pretty dapper. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, next up we have Miss Candy, and she should be pretty quick and easy to adjust because she doesn't have very much makeup on. But we're going to start by using our stamp tool. So we'll just use S and click on somewhere around here, maybe up here. And we'll just make it nice and big and hide this. We're going to do so good. Here we go. Yeah, like I said, this one's going to be nice and easy. It's not too much work to hide her stuff. You know what? Why? We could even do this. Check it out. We'll go like this and hit Control F5. We'll go like this and Control F5. Oop! You can't use there because unfortunately there's some blue. There is some blue, but what we can do is go and grab this section. So when we do use our stamp tool, we can just grab over here somewhere, maybe over here, and just color it in like this. Might be a little bit darker, but it'll still kind of hide the color we're going for, right? So that should be fine. We'll just clean up with our stamp tool, all this other stuff right here. Stamp it. And you know what? Why don't we kind of fix these harsh lines right here by grabbing the in-betweens and using our content aware. Grab right here as well. Content aware, fill, and the last one right here. And we'll actually add this section that's right there. Just like that. We'll grab our stamp. Well, actually, we can use a brush for this part. Hit B and kind of just color in right here so it matches the rest of that. And yeah, she's looking pretty good. There's a little bit of a smudge right here. Whoa, too much. Let's just stamp it out and use the stamp tool from, let's go by her nose because it's a little bit brighter. And we can add that kind of shine on her head here. Whoop, too much. Something like that to kind of smooth it. D, and just smooth out this section right over here. Still a little blotchy. Let's just grab it, make it easier on ourselves by going like this. Whoop. Very good. There you go. Candy is looking pretty terrifying. But that's because she is, and she has fake eyeballs. Okay, so let's get started on Olivia. She is another really pretty easy one. She doesn't have too much makeup on. Obviously, she has some mascara and eyeshadow, but that should be pretty quick to remove. So we're going to go on up and use our lasso tool, and we'll just go around like this and maybe reduce it a little bit so we save some of the color here that we do want to keep. And we'll just use Control F5, but we need to rasterize our layer first. Whoop, there we go. And then let's use our content aware. That didn't do too well. I was hoping it would do a little bit better. Let's try that again. And here we go. Even worse. All right, that's fine. We'll leave that as it is for now, but let's grab this one next. And here we go. So we're just gonna grab these, reduce the amount of outside bits we want because we want to keep as much of this as possible, like that, and here. Alright, so that's not too bad. We can just start smoothing it out manually now by using our stamp tool, as we've been doing, and just coloring in around here, like that. And we'll do the same up here, where we can just grab this and just kind of color in the top of her eyes here. You want to get rid of as much of that blue as possible. So we'll hit Alt, bring our brush down, and bring it really close to where her eyepiece is here. Oops, we don't want to accidentally draw too much over her lids. There we go. We might as well just put Bob's eyes on here, honestly. But this is fine. We'll round this out a little bit, and we'll get rid of some of the weird shapes that were over here as well. There we go. It's looking a little bit kind of blotchy, so I'm just gonna go into here and grab and use our fill like we've been doing, because that'll kind of smooth it out. The computer will do a better job than I do kind of smoothing that section out. Now we can use our stamp tool again for up here. Just get rid of all of these. Why isn't this covering very well? Let's try making it bigger. And yeah, I don't know. There's something. Oh, you know why? I had something selected, so I had to deselect. You think I would learn by now, 10 years later, but it still happens. All right, we're going to use this and smooth along here and along here. We cut out some of this eye, but that's totally fine because we want to kind of reduce this a little bit, because the bottom of, when you look at the bottom of her eyes, the bottom of her eyes actually doesn't have that much color to it, so we're just gonna kind of do this and get that. It's a little messy over here, and I don't know if that was from me, but we're just gonna make sure we fix that up a little bit. That was a pretty quick. There's something along the I think it's just because it's a low-res photo, but there's some kind of it definitely emphasizes how freaky that bottom line looks, but I think we can just make sure that this is nice and smooth. She's looking pretty good here. I don't think that this is part of her makeup, but just for the fun of it, we can hide it, because it is definitely a beauty mark that she would not want to hide. But we'll just do it anyway, just to see what it looks like. I don't think she would fake something like that, but you never know. There are sometimes fashion things that will draw them on, kind of like when you put on fake freckles for some reason. Instead of having real freckles, you just draw them on, and there we go. Olivia actually doesn't look bad at all. She looks very clean, and without her eyeshadow, I feel like it makes her fur look softer. I don't know how that is possible, but she looks fine. All of these villagers have looked totally fine, and I like them. I like it a lot. I think you notice the color of her ears and her paws more. But yeah. And let's move on to our last villager of today. Alright, last but not least is Tammy, the sisterly bear. So we're going to want to rasterize her picture real quick, and let's get started. She doesn't have too much going on. I'm debating whether we should complete her eyes and keep them open, because I think that would be kind of fun, and then remove her mascara and her blush. So we'll start with the easy stuff first. We're just going to get rid of her blush by circling around here, remove some of this like that, and use our handy dandy Shift F5 like we've been doing. And again, the computer will do a great job just replacing that for me, because computers are superior to human beings. Alright, here we go. Perfect. And that was pretty quick. So I think next what I want to do is, I will actually probably need to use the stamp tool for this. I have a feeling I won't be able to get all of it down, but we're going to just try to reduce it as much as possible. Maybe go like this, and then remove the inside. There. So that kind of shortened it a little bit, made it a little bit easier. Let's go on in, and we're going to use our pen tool, and we're going to trace along her eyes like this. And go across, and down, around like that. So we're going to right click and hit make selection, but we do not want to feather this radius. So we're going to hit 0, copy it, paste it, and we're going to copy and paste it again. Take this, flip it around. Let's see if we can line this up in a way. Right click, flip horizontally. We might be able to get it to work. Let's see. Go like this. That's not too bad. Obviously, we have to fill in this extra spot, but we can merge these two together like this. And we'll just go on in and grab from here in. And let's see if the computer will figure out how to do it. Not quite as good. I mean, it got this side, but it's a little bit scary on this side. We'll just we'll just draw it in ourselves. So we're gonna take this color, B, and just color in the eyeballs like this. We can make our brush a little bigger so we're not scribbling in the same place over and over again. Take this nice purple color and kind of fill it in. Luckily it's dark, so you don't really see it too much. And we'll clean up this side as well. Use this color again, just widen the circles a little bit there. What'll be nice is once we get this done, we can use it on the other side. So we're going to stamp tool, make sure we're only on the current layer, go down and right click here, and we'll just reattach these pieces here like that. That's not too bad. And now we want to color in the white here, so let's just try doing that by using our stamp tool here as well, and just kind of bringing it down a little bit. Probably like here, and scooching it down just to get that color in there. Because the color is like not quite the same. If I color picked this and used a brush, the problem with that is it's gonna be super clean compared to the rest of the color around it. But you know what, it actually doesn't look too bad. We could even probably go around and clean up all of it just to make it consistent like this. Why not? And then we'll do the same thing for this brush. We'll bring it down and around. And we're gonna color around this to make it more consistent. Maybe use some of this and kind of speckle it in there as well. Make some small points, maybe put on like the inside. We can turn the opacity down too. The opacity is really high, so we'll put it to about 30 and just kind of color in the inside here just to make it look a little bit more rough, kind of matching the other side of this eyeball here. Perfect. So now that we have that done, let's go back in here and we're just gonna grab this whole section right here. And it's gonna look a little bit crazy, but we're gonna go whoop. That's not too bad actually, so we'll delete that. We're gonna go in, grab this one. But before we do that, actually, let's clean up this layer now that we can see it better. So we're gonna color pick this, clean up. We can turn this back up to, let's put it back to 100. Or let's do 90 actually, I think that'll look better. Go to 90, and we'll smooth out some of these edges that are just like a little bit too rough, like that. Do the best we can with our mouse. Erase and smooth that out like that. Perfect. So now I'm going to copy this by Control J, and we are going to drag it over, right click, actually Control T, right click, and flip horizontal. Put it right back over here. Not too bad. We'll go back to this layer here and grab this, reduce some of this, add some of that, reduce, and Shift 5. Still hiding some of the stuff, so we're gonna just go in and grab the rest of it that's showing. Still showing some pink. We're gonna grab this one. Perfect. And Tammy looks actually pretty cute. She doesn't look as intimidating as she did when she had her eyeshadow and mascara on, but I'd say that looks pretty good. She's looking kind of like a normal villager over a sisterly villager, but I don't hate it. So that will be the last of them. Let's go see what they all look like. Alright, just to review all of the animals that we have Agnes. She has no more mascara on. She's looking pretty cute. And Allie looks, I think, the most dramatic out of all of these ones, just because she had so much makeup on. But she doesn't look bad. She just looks very different. We got Candy, who is pretty terrifying, but she is terrifying regardless, so in a very charming way. We have Olivia, who has very similar eyes to Bob. I found interesting. I never really thought about it before until I saw it this way. But, you know, it's still a good look for her. She looks definitely the most normal of the ones besides Agnes. And Tammy, definitely a little bit more energetic, and I think it's also just because her eyes are fully open here rather than having that kind of angry look. But I think I like it. I like it a lot. This is the other most, I think besides Allie, Tammy had the biggest change. So let me know what you guys thought, and I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you on the next video. Bye!